Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara. Today I'm doing a type of video that I haven't done before. Generally I stick to the same kinds of, well, this is still, I guess, sticking to the same kind of video I usually make. Oh my god, what the heck? These were just like stuck on the arm of my sweater. I do a lot of like empties and decluttering videos, different types of project pan videos, but as it is nearing the end of the year, I thought it would make sense to go back and sort of look at the year as a whole in terms of makeup. And one way I'm going to do that, obviously, is to show you all of the makeup products that I've finished over the course of the year. And also, of course, I have a series on like products that I wanted to pan in this year, 22 and 2022, so I'll talk about that. I'll also do a makeup inventory, although that's not going to be until the new year. It'll probably be at the end of January. But I also wanted to talk about all of the new makeup that I brought in this year, because I find that a lot of the time I don't end up talking about my feelings towards makeup products until the end of their lifetimes. Like if I'm panning something, then I talk about how I felt about that product. But otherwise, sometimes I don't really talk about it. Like I have an Instagram page where I will often talk about it, but here on YouTube, not as much. I will just mention what I'm using. So I wanted to discuss my thoughts around all of the makeup that I brought in this year, because I do have, I like to think that it is a minimal curated makeup collection, but you know, I should really be evaluating at the end of the year my choices in terms of what I brought in, if I have been sticking to that minimal curated goal, if I think I brought too much in this year, if I regret some of the things that I brought in. So let's just talk about my relationship to makeup. Perhaps I should say my relationship to this makeup, because I'm not talking about my collection as a whole here. I'm just talking about the decisions that I made this year. It takes me so long to get ready for a video that I had breakfast this morning, but now I'm like hungry again, because by the time it took to take a shower, get ready, do my hair, all of my makeup, set up for this video, and then pull together the products I'm gonna be talking about, I'm like, ugh, it's already time to eat. Anyways, let's just dive straight into it. Out of all of these products, I only bought one of them. Let me explain. That will be confusing if you haven't been to my channel before. If you have, you will know that I don't like consuming. I'm on this conscious consumerism journey, and so my goal is to, you know, be very conscious about all of the purchasing decisions that I make, and also even what I bring in. So some of this stuff will have been from buns trades, some of it is stuff that people decluttered to me, and then just one item is what I bought myself. But regardless of how I got something, even if it was free to me, I should not just be accepting indiscriminately. I still need to be thinking about these things, because even if I'm not paying for them, even if they're secondhand, so it's not, you know, impacting the planet in any way, they're still taking up space in my collection. I am still making my collection bigger. And so I think that, you know, everything still needs to be well thought through. So let's start with the item, the one thing that I purchased myself. This is the NYX Glitter Primer. Ironically, this is probably the item that I've used the least out of everything that I brought in, which is funny because it's the one thing that I bought. I just find it difficult to remember to use it because I already use an eyelid primer, and this is specifically supposed to be used for glitter. So like I would have to use this on top of another eyelid primer, which just seems like a lot, and often I forget because it's not something that I would use every day. It's just when I'm using a glitter. So for example, today. So just because of that, I forget to use it a lot of the time. I do think it makes a difference, not a huge difference, probably not enough to justify buying it. So I guess the final thing I'm saying is like, I don't think this is worth it. If I were you, I would not go out and purchase this unless you find that your glitters don't show up at all, then maybe it will make a huge difference for you. But for me, this is just not worth the effort. But because I have it, I will continue to try to use it. Okay, next let's talk about what I have on my eyes today, because this is actually the newest thing that I brought into my collection, and you might be thinking, wow, I didn't know you had a green eyeshadow, but now I do. Funnily, I have talked on my channel before about how I wanted green eyeshadow because I've had a few in the past and I just never liked any of them, like either the color or because they were too cool toned or I didn't think they looked good with my eyes. But this one, I really, really like it. I'm still playing around with it. I haven't even had it for a week. So, you know, I'm sure there's some other makeup looks I need to try with it. I actually saw this really neat look that I was kind of going for today, but not quite as bold. Let me pull that up. But that look, I definitely want to try. So that was Jacqueline Forbes. I love that look, but I'm definitely not as skilled at makeup as her, so we'll see. But this is the Gemini Melt Cosmetics palette. I have actually been wanting to try Melt for a while because I feel like their vibes I like. Like there's some brands where I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's not really for me. Like say cosmetics or say makeup or whatever. Like I don't think that brand is really my vibes, but this is beautiful. I had looked into this palette before. There was also kind of a like reddish orange one that I had looked into before, but it's this green color that obviously I'm wearing today. This is pretty much the only color that I have. A little bit of the browns blended out, but like, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So I actually got this from Jay, who interestingly enough, I know from social media, like basically through my YouTube and Instagram. She messaged me being like, I know you said you're interested in a green and I have this palette that I never use. Would you want it? And I was like, oh my God, of course. I got to meet her, which was amazing. And I think she gets a lot of products because she works in cosmetics. And I was just telling her about Buns and Facebook Buy Nothing because those are such great resources if you like are wanting to get rid of stuff. That's what I always do when I want to declutter stuff. Yeah, because she said she has a ton of stuff that she doesn't use. So I was like, yeah, next time. Obviously, I'm so happy that she gave this to me, but I'm like, next time, you know, there's tons of people out there who will want the stuff you have. So yeah, post it on one of those. But I love this. I actually really, really, really enjoy the color on my eyes. And I am hosting a kind of a holiday party tonight, so I thought that this would be appropriate. But yeah, I've really been enjoying playing around with it. I think I'm going to do a reel where I show you a week of makeup looks using this. So far I'm very much enjoying it. This was something that I'm really, really happy to have in my collection. No regrets, obviously. I think let's transition into palettes now because I actually got a lot of palettes this year. I decluttered 4, but they were all quite small palettes, and I brought 5 palettes into my collection, which is wild. So let's start with this one. This is the ColourPop Golden State of Mind palette, and honestly, I can tell from looking at this that these are not really my tones for the most part. There's some that my eyes immediately go to, like this one here, that one, those two, well, maybe that one's a bit too brown, and that one. So like the pinky ones I really, really like, but that icy blue one, not for me. That one, way too dark. Oh no, did I just dig my nail in there? So anyways, there's some colors I really like, but my friend posted this on Buns and I was like, ooh, I'd like that. So I did get quite a bit of use out of it when I first got it, but because I brought so many other palettes in this year, I haven't used it in many months, which is not great. I think next year I should probably try to rotate through my palettes a little bit more because now I'm used to having all of these. So yeah, I will probably have to give this another 6 months to a year to see if it was worth bringing into my collection, but I do like the colors. I just haven't used it enough, so that's on me. Okay, these next two are Juvia's Place, which I got from a Buns trade. Really great trade on my end, I think. I traded this old purse. I mean, it was like a leather purse. I never wear it, and I had it for a really long time. But this way, I didn't have to purchase from Juvia's Place, and I got to try out some of the palettes. So I definitely have gotten more use out of this one. This is a more matte one. This is the Warrior 2. I use this one a lot, also as liner. This one I use actually for the most part as blush, and then this one I use as eyeshadow. So that row there I use a ton. The other ones I haven't really gotten much use out of, but just for that middle row there, super worth having this one. I really enjoy it. I don't like how big it is, but you know, what can you do? And then this is the Warrior, the first one. And you can see it's a lot more shimmery. It's got more glitters. It's a bit dark for me. I don't wear a ton of dark eyeshadows, or when I wear glitter, it's more like on the lid and in the inner corner, and so I don't wear dark shades there. So this one is great. This one is a little too dark. Like these ones I would wear more in the outer part of the lid, which I just don't do a lot, but really nice. These are great shadows. I just need to get more use out of this one, I think. I'm happy with my use on the Warrior 2, but Warrior 1, I need to prioritize this one more. But definitely no regrets about bringing those in. Okay, let's move along to the last palette that I brought into my collection this year, and this was from Shauna. This is the Nude Light Huda Beauty palette. Now, I was really surprised by how much I used this actually. The first like month and a half, 2 months when I had it, I literally couldn't stop using it. Like I couldn't use anything else. It's so beautiful. And when I look at this, I'm like, oh, that's not that interesting. I feel like I have shades like this elsewhere in my collection, but I absolutely do not. Like I maybe have something like that one, but I don't have a rosy gold color like that. I definitely don't have something that has like the multi-shimmer properties of that one, and I definitely don't have a purple like that. I thought that I didn't like purple, that it didn't look good on my eyes, but that purple, it's light enough that it really, really works. And I've done some makeup looks that I really like with it, and just this palette as a whole, I did bring it with me on my trip recently, which I thought would be perfect because I love this palette and it's like small and compact, but I think it just has too much shimmer, and shimmer on like long travel days just doesn't really make sense to me. I think mattes are easier, but I still very, very much enjoy the palette. I think this is perfect for the spring. That is when I really will get the most use out of it. But yeah, I'm so grateful that Shauna gave this to me because I have used it so much. This is probably one of my most reached for items of the year. So that is all of the palettes that I brought in. That is 5. That is a lot of palettes. That's kind of hard to believe, but to begin with, I didn't have very many palettes. I think I got down to 7 or 8, which for someone who has a makeup collection my size, I feel like that was just like not very many palettes. Not that there's a number that you have to hit, but I did feel like there was gaps missing in my collection. As I said, green. I want some red shadows. That is also something that I am missing. I have this ColourPop single shadow that used to be the perfect red shade, but unfortunately it has kind of dried up. So that's something to deal with at another point. I'm not desperate for red. Let's talk about some other things that Shauna passed on to me. And honestly, I can't believe that she didn't use these items because they are some of my favorites. Even just like the packaging, like look how gorgeous this is. This is Fenty eyeshadow topper. Oh, I should probably do it on the other hand. It is gold, but it has a bit of a like rosy shimmer under it. This is beautiful. I sometimes forget to reach for this if I'm doing like a full face of makeup, but if I'm just doing a little bit and I just want a little hint of shimmer on the eyes, this is perfect. She also gave me another Fenty product. This is a cream bronzer, which I do enjoy. I kind of wish it was like a darker shade because I think I don't reach for this enough because it doesn't make a huge difference on my cheeks. And I don't love that it's like shimmery glimmer particles in my bronzer. I'm not sure if you can really tell, but it's a little bit much, but I do like the product as a whole and I have gotten a decent amount of use out of it. This one is one of my favorites. This is MAC Warm Soul. I do not know why she got rid of this. This is such a nice color to me. It's such a like beautiful nude. The only other nude blushes I have in my collection are the Tarte ones, and this is just a little bit warmer. I really enjoy this. It also feels like a mix between like a cream and a powder to me, or I think of it that way, even though it very much is a powder. I wear this for special occasions sometimes. I really enjoy this blush. Even though before getting it, I was like, oh, I don't need any more blushes in my collection. But when I saw it, I was like, that's gonna be unique. I don't have much else like that. Okay, next, there's one more eyeshadow product that she gave me, which is the Vesca Moonlit Dream Cream Shadow. This is absolutely beautiful as well. I really need to remember to use this more because it's totally good as a one and done shadow, and you really don't need very much. It's similar to some of those Huda shades, but yeah, just a beautiful shimmer. You can sheer it out or you can make it quite thick. Gorgeous on the eyes. Okay, These next ones, Shauna decluttered 3 complexion products to me. The first was this e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. Honestly, this would have been great to mix with the Tarte foundation that I had that was too dark for me, because this is so light. I actually don't know why Shauna decluttered it, but if it was because it was so light, I would believe that. It is, okay, can you see that there? It doesn't even sheer out, which makes it very difficult. It's very matte, very light. So I found it really challenging to use. I think if I was desperate, this would be fine. Or maybe, you know, I could mix with a moisturizer or something, or maybe mix with a moisturizer and a foundation that was too dark. I don't know. This is probably the item that I've gotten the least amount of use out of all the things that Shauna decluttered. And I'm kind of keeping it as like a backup concealer for when I finish the other one. Probably good if you need really heavy makeup. And this would have fit my preferences a few years ago, but now it's just not really my preference anymore. But I was interested to try it because I know a lot of people have and love this concealer, but it might be like the next version. Like, I think there's a couple different versions of the Camo Concealer. This one, it doesn't seem to quite work for my preferences. But hey, if you love heavy coverage concealers, that is the one for you. It's kind of similar to the MAC one that I used to use, which was very heavy coverage. But now I'm very happy with this ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation, which is also from Shauna. This is a much better color match, and it sheers out a bit. It's not quite as high coverage, but it still is somewhat high. Can you see it there compared to that one? I find that this blends out really well. And yeah, it might be a holy grail. I don't know. It works really well for me, but I can't find any flaws with it. It's not like life-changing, but I'm just like, yeah, this is like what a concealer should be like. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of the same with this. This is a Dream BB Pure foundation. This is a skin mattifying beauty balm. I didn't think that I liked beauty balms, but it might just be that I was using the wrong one, or I was using one that was too low coverage, because when I've used them in the past, I have not found that they have given me sufficient coverage. But this is exactly the kind of coverage that I like. I can wear it really light on my skin so that it looks like I'm, you know, not even wearing foundation, or when I pair it with a more heavy coverage concealer, that is perfect for like a, you know, a full face. I really like this combination. Thank you, Shauna. Yeah, no regrets there. There's also this lip gloss that Shauna gave to me, which I completely forgot about because it's disappeared. It might be like fallen behind the dresser now. I haven't seen it in a while. It was a Tower 28 lip gloss. I know people love that, but I do not like lip gloss. I probably shouldn't have accepted it from Shauna. I'm gonna say that. That's one thing that I didn't need to bring into my collection this year because I never use it. But I wanted to test it because I know that people say that that is the best lip gloss, and that if you don't like lip gloss, that one you will like. Now, maybe if it was in a different color, I would have felt better towards it, but I don't like the color on myself, and I find that it's just another lip gloss. So I'm gonna say that was my first fail, my first big regret of something that I brought in this year. I mean, this I kind of regret as well, but not as much as that one. Okay, we don't have that much left. I do have 2 more lipsticks. One of them is from Shauna. I almost didn't accept this because it's a really similar shade to another lipstick that I couldn't finish. Do you remember that L'Oreal one that was just like too pinky? But it is a bit darker, you see? It's not quite as light as that one. And also because I had 2 MAC lipsticks and I kind of wanted to complete this, I really wish that this was all MAC lipsticks, that I had 9, because it would look so nice. But on the one hand, I don't buy from MAC because they're not cruelty free. And also I don't even use MAC lipsticks that often. Like, despite the fact that I have 3, I don't use them that often because they are super like matte and thick. It's just not the formula that I reach for the most often. It would more be about aesthetics. So that's kind of dumb. I don't want to be, you know, collecting just for the sake of collecting. And then this one is Antique Velvet. I believe I got this in 2022. This was from a Buns trade. Love the color, but I don't get enough use out of this because I don't wear it out of the house because of the color. Do you see that? It's gorgeous. I did wear this in a video a few weeks back, so you will have seen it recently. Gorgeous for sort of the Halloween time, but yeah, I'm not quite that bold with my lip choices when it comes to leaving the house, but I am glad to have that. I'll say that. Even if it's just for the occasional video. What is this color store? This is so out of my comfort zone. Green, super dark, burgundy, like a pink bunch of sparkles. That would kind of be an interesting look. You know what that reminds me of? If you watch Chloe Enchanted, she's very like kind of ethereal and maybe like boho hippie with her makeup style. Very, very adventurous. I am nowhere near as adventurous as her, but I feel like this color story would be her jam. Anyways, the last thing is also from a buns trade. I think I traded like 6 or 7 clothing items to this person, and in return I got some makeup products, some like bars of soap, a bar of shampoo, oh, and a bodysuit that I've actually never worn. I'm not showing skincare today, but I just thought I'd show you quickly the trio that I got from her because these are all from Milk Makeup and they're so cute. I almost like don't want to use them up because I just love them as a little set along with the Milk Makeup blush that I still have, which has grown on me this past year, I might add. So this is a lip and cheek product, Glimmer Glow Oil Lip and Cheek. I definitely don't like this as much as the blush, and I find that they all smell kind of weird. Like the blush, even when I first got it, it had a funky smell, like not a gone off smell. I just didn't like the smell, and it's the same with this. I mostly use this on my lips. I did try it once on my cheeks, and it did have like a nice shimmery look that I couldn't replicate in my collection, but I just find that when you have like makeup on, this fades super, super quickly. But I will show you the color here. Kind of out of my comfort zone, not usually colored wear, and even on my lips I don't like it very much. It's more just like I like the look of this thing. So that's the color there. And then these two I like quite a bit more. This is a cooling under eye gel, so I just basically like put this on before I put moisturizer on or anything in the morning. And then this one is supposed to be some kind of serum, watermelon brightening serum. Doesn't make a difference, I don't know, but I like it. I like having skincare in these little things. Maybe one day I'll repurchase them, but this used up so quickly. Let me show you the set. I'm basically done with the serum, but I don't know how to get the rest of it out because it doesn't screw up anymore. But yeah, I really enjoy these. Look how cute they are. Little chubbies. I don't keep them in my makeup bag. I just keep them in the bathroom, like on display, because I like how they look. And yeah, I'm really happy with all 3 of these. Let me know if you know how to dig this out. I could just dig it out and then put it in a container and then like put it on my face like a normal serum, but I don't like doing that kind of thing. Okay, and then this is the Nude by Nature Translucent Loose Finishing Powder, and I actually really like this. I find it super mattifying. I used it one day in comparison. I decided to compare this to the MAC powder, which I used to think that I liked. Now I don't like it as much. I don't like the kind of matte quality that it gives to my skin, but this one I really like. I don't like the look of the powder as much. Like it's just not, I don't know. It looks kind of like chunky, but on my face it looks really nice. So I enjoy this quite a bit, and I'm glad I got it because I only have 2 other powders, so I think I will. Oh my god, it's hard to screw back on. I don't know why. Come on. There we go. But yeah, I am happy to have this. This was also from Buns Trade, but I had to like take it out of the packaging and everything. It was brand new. But yeah, that is actually it. So the only things that I regret bringing into my collection are the Tower 28 lip gloss and the e.l.f. camo concealer, and kind of a little bit the NYX glitter primer, and also that ColourPop palette, but maybe if I get more use out of it, I will find that it's different. So how many things did I bring in? Got 5 palettes, 2 concealers, 1 foundation, that blush. I will leave the number right here. I think I brought in about 15 products. 18. Okay, so I've got 18 new products that I brought in this year, but if you take out these 2 things, because I did technically get other skincare products, so it doesn't make sense to count just these 2 things. I got 16 new makeup products that I brought into my collection. Oh, sorry, and plus the Tower 28 gloss. 17 new things that I brought into my collection. I actually have no idea how many things left my collection. I will have to do a count at the end of the year of how many empties I had. I'm guessing it'll be more than 17. I'm guessing it'll be more like 20, maybe 25. Well, I'm gonna say, yeah, 20 empties this year on top of a number of makeup products that I decluttered. So let's say 30 to 35 that left my collection. So my guess is that I brought about half of the new things in that left. If I can keep up with that, if I can, you know, double the number of things that I'm bringing in as leave, if that makes sense, that would be amazing. I would love to continue minimizing and curating my collection. That is the goal. So yeah, I'm really happy with this year. I hope you enjoyed learning about how I felt about all of these new products. I would love to hear if you're happy with all the things you brought into your collection this year and how many new makeup products you brought. I mean, 17 doesn't sound like very many, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of makeup. Like last year, I probably didn't even bring 10 new products in. So this is definitely evolution on my low buy, but I'm happy with it. I'm not having regrets. And yeah, I think my relationship to makeup and to my collection is still very good. So let's move on to a book that I have been reading lately. Recently, I've been reading Clara and the Sun. I'm assuming it's pronounced Clara, like Lara, I don't actually know, by Kazuo Ishiguro. I have read Remains of the Day and Never Let Me Go, which were both turned into movies, very good books. And so I thought that I would like this book. Usually, I recommend books on here. Usually, I think for the most part, I have good things to say about the books I'm reading, because if I don't like them, I kind of just stop reading. But I got far enough into this book, halfway, maybe a little more than halfway, that I thought that I would finish it, but I'm just not very interested, unfortunately. And two of my close friends both loved this book, but one of them, my friend Laura, she was like, I don't think you're gonna like it. But I started reading it anyways, and I think she was right. It's about an AI, like a robot, whatever you want to call her. It's called Artificial Friend. Honestly, I have no idea which direction this is going, but it's kind of meandering and I don't really get it. And I feel like there's interesting stuff happening in the world. Like every so often there's like a mention of something and I'm like, ooh, that would be interesting when something like sci-fi or like kind of mysterious comes up. But then it doesn't explore that. It doesn't go in that direction. Who knows? Maybe it's going to turn into a mystery and we're going to have to find out what's going on, but I kind of don't think so. Basically, this artificial friend, Clara, gets chosen to be the artificial friend or like the helper, whatever, of this young girl who's like 13-ish. And the girl is weird. I don't really get her. Her mother is weird. Like all the characters are weird and Clara doesn't really understand how the world works. So the friend or the daughter, whatever, there's something wrong with her. Like she's chronically ill and Clara has these weird ideas about the sun being able to heal her. I just don't get it. Like I just don't understand what this book is about. I thought it would be about artificial intelligence and the relationship between humans and AI, or at least like what it means to love and what it means to be human, and it's just not. I don't even know what it's really about. But yeah, this is gonna go back to the library and I'm gonna move on to something that is more for me. I like Kazuo Ishiguro so far, but not this one. This is his most recent one. It came out about a year and a half ago, so it's fairly new, but yeah, I can't recommend it to you, I'm sorry. But that is going to be it for today's video. Oh, his hand still. Look at all that. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my next few end of the year videos. I hope you're having a great holiday season. I hope you get some time off. I am personally writing my qualifying exam right now for school, which is basically a 10-day period of time where you write kind of like a proposal, like a very, very long essay to continue on and to start writing your thesis. It's not going too bad actually, but because of that, I don't have as much time to film because during the week, like every day, I need to be working on that paper. So I'll be glad when that's over and then I'll have a couple of weeks to chill before the end of the year. But yeah, I hope your end of the year is going well and you have a good time celebrating whatever you celebrate, and I will talk to you next week. Bye. Sorry, this got a bit rambly.